1987, you win Rockingham, and then you win Richmond early in the season. Then in Atlanta, you lead 8 times for nearly 200 laps, but then a battery switch goes bad. Then you go on and you win the next 4 freaking races.
We won 6 out of the first 8 races.
That's crazy. What did y'all have?
Wasn't that much of an upset? 86 was sort of a...
86 might have been an upset, but 87 was not.
It was for real because we were able to pull it off, and we actually, were improving on some stuff based on the year before. So, yeah, I mean, that was for sure our strongest year the whole time.
What was it like to go to the racetrack during that stretch? Were you basically already etching your name on the trophy before practice started?
Since then, even maybe a little before that, that's always been my philosophy about racing. You never go to race. You got to have their ass covered before you go. And the race is just running out the laps and like frosting. That's just the fine print. We got you beat already. And that was the attitude, and that was the game plan. Now,
what was that feeling like? I can't imagine.
Buy it.
Yeah, I can't imagine a high like that.
That's 87. Was it 30 years ago?
Yeah.
I've been trying to get that shit back ever since, Rick, tell you the truth. That feeling, you can't.
Wow. That's
something that comes a few times in life.
Yeah.
Nobody gets to do that. Like I said, you can't imagine the feeling. And it was silly because it can't last.
Yeah.
And we all, especially the farther it went, the more success we had. And we're almost a decade there. If you're going to win a championship or races or anything, well, you can, but you got to beat us if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And how long can you keep that up? You can tell it's how fragile it is, how rare a thing it is. And none of us wanted to be the one that kind of would make a mistake or screw it up, or, we couldn't get anybody hurt. We all did whatever was necessary to keep that alive, keep it going. Because we all realized how big of a thing it was, I think. People just shake their head. And that fed us even more,
Being that dominant, was there ever a danger of maybe letting up off the throttle a little bit? We are so far out ahead that maybe we can ease up just a little bit and still kick their butts.
As a race team as a whole, I mean, just going every week and doing the points aimed at the championship, which Richard's philosophy, that's always been it. It's a little bit different setup than just trying to win a race. Like the Daytona 500 every year. You go to that one trying to win a race. You go to all the other ones to win a championship. So if you got to take a 7th place that day, or that versus wreck and finish 20th, it's a no-brainer. You got to, in that sense, sometimes you got to take it. A crappy finish or not as good as you thought you should have been, because it's better for the whole picture to do that than it is to risk more and probably not get any return for it. So to answer your question, I guess that's, in that sense, you do back off and you be conservative. You have to go as hard as you can, but it has to be at a pace you can maintain. Even sleeping and resting is part of it. That's part of the competition. Competition never stops, but you got to eat, you got to sleep, you got to be with your kids sometimes. All of it's part of being able to do this for years instead of for weeks and keep it going. So, yeah, there's some modulating on the throttle, sure. For all of us, success was the thing that made it work. If we were doing all this shit and didn't win all the time, or once in a while at least, it wouldn't be worthwhile. It certainly didn't pay enough. It was, unbelievable. Even by the 90s, it was still 70, 80, 90, 100 hours a week job, and not counting going on the road or, being gone at night and stuff from home. But we couldn't do it that much and that long and as hard as we did and put as much into it. If we didn't win, if we weren't successful at it, it wouldn't have been worthwhile. It would have fizzled before it started, I think. So win was everything, was the main factor of it.